All right, we are going to finish lesson 6.1. We left off here with multiplying polynomials. So this is like the FOIL method that we've used that you've become familiar with. Whenever we have a 3-term that's called a trinomial or more, I recommend using the Punnett Square, which we did with factoring, but we're going to do it backwards. Doing that is going to keep you from missing parts. A lot of you, especially on those bank 20s, I have found that when you multiply, you only multiply the first and you only multiply the last. So FOIL doesn't really work. You don't really think of that. And then FOIL is only FOIL, 4 letters. It only works when there's 4 different terms. We've got more here. So to multiply, let's use the Punnett Square, which means I'm going to have a 2 by 3 box. Oh, made my box a little uneven. Right. And I made a 3 by 3. Oh, goodness. It's supposed to be 2. Two by 3. Going down the side, I'm going to write x minus 7. And along the top, x squared, 2x, and 1. And in each individual square here, I'm going to multiply what's above it and what's to the left. So the very top, the far left side. So here I'm going to multiply x squared and x. What do I get when I multiply those two? What's x squared times x? X cubed. Then I go along. 2x times x is, come on. Thank you. You got to know how to do this. All right, everybody else. What's 1 times x? X. All right, what's negative 7 times x squared? Negative 7x squared. What's 2x times negative 7? Good, negative 14x. All right, 1 times negative 7. You all answer that one. When you do the box, that keeps you from missing. You don't leave an open box. If we try to do distributing or FOIL, it's very likely that you would miss something. A lot of times when you do the box, your like terms will be diagonal from each other like that. Not always, but a lot of times. So when we write out our answer, we'll combine the like terms. So we have x cubed. This would be minus 5x squared. This would be minus 13x and minus 7. Looks like everybody needs to come get their calculator. I mean, you might not need it, but you might want it. So come get it. Number 20. This is not 4x squared plus 25y squared. Don't write that down because that's the wrong answer. When you have a binomial or anything being squared, that's the same thing as writing it out twice. So you could use FOIL method, yes, but I'm going to continue with the box. If you hate the box, you don't have to do it, but I feel like it's more organized. And we put 2x and 5y along the left, and then also across the top. And then in each individual square, we multiply what's at the very top and what's to the left. So 2x times 2x is 4x squared. And then 2x times 5y is 10xy. And then this one is also going to be 10xy. You want to always put your letters in alphabetical order. And then this last box is 25y squared. And notice your like terms are diagonal there. So we have 4x squared plus 20xy plus 25y squared.
Why did you put the 25y squared before the 20xy?
All right, so typically, that's a question that everybody always asks. Typically, we want our variables, our exponents, to go greatest to smallest. But when we have two variables, the x squared, we start with our x's. And this one basically went x with a 2 and then a 1, and then we didn't have an x at all. If we switch these two, the x's will go from 2 to 0x and then back up to 1. So not in this case, because you stick with just the x's, and the x's go down, the y's go up. But you won't see this that often. Number 21, we basically have two things being multiplied, and we're going to do those separate. You might need some room, so I'm going to do my Punnett Square on this side. Two x plus 1, 9x minus 4. Go ahead and fill in your 4 squares. So the first part that we did the Punnett Square, we get 18x squared plus x minus 4. And then we also need to distribute on this side the negative 2x to get negative 6x minus, or 6x squared minus 22x. So I took this negative 2x and distributed it. And then we combine like terms. So start with the x squared first. 18 and negative 6 is 12. X and negative 22x is negative 21x. And then minus 4. Any questions? Number 23 is a trinomial times a trinomial, which means you're going to need a 3 by 3 box. So go ahead and work on this one by yourself. So we have 6x to the 4th. And then our x cubed, we end up with 7 once we combine our like terms. Negative 45x squared plus 41x and minus 9. Are there any questions? If you want to check your answer, you can store any random number as x. So 3 store x. Type in your original problem. Type in what you got and see if you got the same thing. If you get the same thing, it's correct. All right. Last 4 questions are on dividing polynomials by a monomial. So all of the denominators are just a monomial. And this is very, very, very similar to what we did on the front with dividing. But basically, you take each term and divide each term by the bottom separately. So essentially, we have 9x cubed over 3x and negative 24x squared over 3x. You don't necessarily have to write this step out unless it helps you to see that. First of all, I have 9 over 3, which is what? 3, and then I have x to what power? The second power. So 3x squared minus, and then 24 divided by 3 is what? 8, and then what? Just x. Because we have 2 and 1. So 2 minus 1 is just 8x. Number 25. I'm still going to write it out. It's all separate. So 25, we have 14 over 2, which is 7. And then how many a's? So a cubed and b squared minus what? So it'd be, yeah, minus 10. That's where the negative 10 came from. Negative 10, and then I have what? A, b. Okay. Plus what? 1. Good. So the a's canceled, the b's canceled. 2 divided by 2 is 1. Very good. All right. Number 26. All right. We have 30 over 3, which is 10. And then what about variables? X. Minus what? Do I have any x's? Nope. Plus what? 3 what? So you can put x to the negative first. You cannot leave this. How would I rewrite this without having a negative exponent? We would put the x on the bottom. So 10x minus 4 plus 3 over x. So that becomes a positive 1 exponent, but that's just x. This is the way it needs to be written. When it's left with a negative 1 exponent, it's not fully simplified. All right. Do number 27. All right, so you should have ended up with 5m over n minus 3n squared. Any questions? All right.